Okay. So, in which reaction of cellular respiration and fermentation does substrate level for phosphorylation occur? Substrate level phosphorylation occur in glycolysis and in Krebs cycle. You remember there is one ATP getting produced.
Yeah.
So the answer is
Oh, so it's D.
mm.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you noting it down?
Uh, well, I mean, no, it's fine. I'll just yeah, I'll just figure out later. But yeah,
You might
in
not forget, right?
no, it's fine.
Okay. Or you can just highlight it with the highlight the option so that you
No,
don't
I
forget.
can't. But yeah.
With the draw option, you can, Rishi.
Uh,
Next. What made you think the answer is B?
well, I mean, glucose or glycolysis, it just doesn't. It's not that. I mean, the whole cellular respiration process releases a lot of heat.
Yeah, it's inefficient, that's right. But the question is, why are only two molecules of NADH formed during glycolysis when it appears that as much as a dozen could be formed? So the thing is that where is the free energy of glucose going, isn't it?
Yeah.
From minus 686, it produces only plus 53 when you consider NADH alone. So where is the remaining going? That is the actual meaning of the question, right?
Yeah.
So the answer would be
Uh, I guess A.
answer is C, Rishi. Most of the free energy available from oxidation of glucose remains in pyruvate.
Wait. So okay, because glucose is turning to pyruvate at the end, and so and then that's later getting converted.
Yeah, the free energy of pyruvate is high, also high.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how we account it. Although small amount is lost as heat, major amount is not lost as heat.
Okay. Yeah.
And if that was the case, we the organism would have switched to some other mechanism instead of going for glycolysis first.
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of energy will be wasted in the initial step itself. Next, so the question is net production. One molecule of glucose glycolysis result in the net production of which of the following. So when you consider net production, how many ATPs?
Isn't it 4 ATP?
4 ATP is the total, Rishi.
Oh. So it's 4 produced and 2 are
Yeah,
used.
2 is
Oh
consumed in
yeah.
the first and third steps.
Yeah, and then so I guess it's B then.
Yes, B.
Okay.
And C cannot be right. How come 4 NADH are produced? Where is the where is this 4 NADH coming from?
Well, I was thinking that
Uh,
I think two would be produced for each one, but oh yeah, there's only one molecule.
one molecule of
Yeah,
glucose.
yeah, I thought it was like
Two comes
split
into,
two.
yeah, two comes into play only when after that glycolysis step, two pyruvate is formed. That's when we talk about two molecules.
Yeah,
All right, next one. So this is more or less like a continuation of the previous one. In glycolysis, for each molecule of glucose, each molecule, how many ATPs are used, how many are produced?
yeah, it's just B then.
Yes.
Yeah, is it just C?
But when you labeled C, it is wrong, right?
Yeah,
Most of Rishi, the clue lies in the first part of that sentence. Following glycolysis and citric acid, but before the electron transport chain. So, see, TCS cycle is completed, meaning after glycolysis and citric acid cycle, before electron transport chain. Do you understand? So glucose and went through glycolysis and it went through I mean citric acid cycle, but before entering to electron transport chain and oxidative phosphorylation, most of the energy of glucose molecule is stored in which of the molecule?
uh, is it was following the citric acid cycle? NADH.
NADH.
Okay, yeah.
Next one.
Wait, so let's answer for this one.
See, the question is if glucose is the sole source of energy, what fraction of carbon dioxide exhaled by the animal is generated only by the reaction involved oxidation of pyruvate to acetyl CoA? So, pyruvate to acetyl CoA, how many carbon dioxide is produced?
I think it's three.
Pyruvate to acetyl CoA, Rishi,
One.
just oxidation
Yeah,
reaction.
one.
Uh, and that acetyl CoA goes through. And what is the total number of carbon dioxide produced in the whole thing? When you finish no, oxidation of glucose to carbon dioxide, how many total carbon dioxides are produced? That one molecule of glucose produces how many carbon dioxide?
One molecule of glucose, I think it produces in total three.
Three, right? So
Yeah.
one carbon
Oh,
dioxide in pyruvate to acetyl CoA. So 1/3.
yeah.
Yeah. So it is basically the oxidation of pyruvate, right? Oxidation of pyruvate to acetyl CoA. Conversion to acetyl CoA. What is happening there? What is the products which are formed? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
It is definitely not oxygen, isn't it?
Well, it says lose carbon. So,
It is. Uh, it is clearly said it gives off a molecule of carbon dioxide. So it is definitely not A, isn't it?
uh, yeah.
So you have to choose between B, choose among B, C, and D. It is just that oxidation step we are talking about, Rishi. Pyruvate converted to acetyl CoA.
Okay, then it's, uh, is it C?
Yes, it is C. See, pyruvate is converted to acetyl acetate and the simultaneously, you know what is happening? A coenzyme A is coming in.
Yeah.
So that's how acetate is converted to acetyl CoA. So the products are acetyl CoA. So it's a decarboxylation reaction. A dehydrogenase is involved, so NADH is coming in. So NADH, carbon dioxide, and acetyl CoA. Next, this is the same thing that has been asked. Just now, the same question in another form, isn't it?
Uh, yeah, I guess. Uh, wait, which one is it?
See, for removal of carbon from a molecule of pyruvate. So
Is it
pyruvate
B?
is, yes, acetyl-CoA. It's not citrate. You know why it is not citrate? Acetyl-CoA combines with the oxaloacetate from that citric acid cycle and then forms citrate. You know, it enters that
Yeah,
cycle and combines with something else and forms that citrate. It's
yeah,
not citrate. Okay. I think you have to draw that citric acid cycle and the conversions of glycolysis and paste it somewhere in front of you that you can see it for 10 days continuously, Rishi, so that you'll remember.
yeah.
That works for you? You do that?
Uh, well, I mean, I think on the AP test we're allowed to, like, they're not gonna ask memorization questions, but yeah.
No, but you should remember all these steps, then only you'll be able to answer these kind of questions, right?
Uh, yeah,
That is a problem.
yeah,
It'll be easier if you memorize, but memorizing is kind of very difficult. Okay, continue. See, it is asked lowest energy level. You remember the diagram was like a graph which is drawn against, y-axis was the free energy, isn't it?
uh, I don't know what that is.
Um, 1 second, I'll show you the diagram. Yeah, I was talking about this one. So the question is, during aerobic respiration, which of the following molecule directly donates electron to the electron transport chain as at the lowest energy level? Okay, so this diagram is drawn. It is like, I remember me telling you it is drawn in a slanting fashion because it is a graph plotted against free energy. So the highest free energy is possessed by NAD, and then complex one, and then it goes like this. You understand? So this the last compound has the least free energy, oxygen. Although it is the most electronegative one, it has least free energy because free energy is getting released at every step, isn't
Yeah.
it? So what is the answer?
Is it like, well, is it still NADH?
Sorry.
Well, why is it not NADH?
Why not NADH? That's what you asked?
Yeah.
See, NADH, where do you find NADH in that electron transport chain? NADH is the first donor of electron, right?
Yeah.
So it is the energy of that is somewhere in the top, like free energy is very high for that reaction.
Uh, so wait, how do I know which one it is?
So I think it is water. Water is coming in the like the last part of the transport chain, right?
Wait, how do we know that? Where's water?
See, after oxygen, the electron is getting. Sorry,
Oh,
oxygen accepts water and it's converted to water, right?
yeah.
That's how I came to that answer. Okay.
Well, I think that correct answer is D, which is FADH2.
FeDH2.
Yeah.
FeDH2 again, it is donating electron at complex number 2.
Uh, so it's wait, so why is FADH2?
Wait, I'll show you another diagram where
Uh, wait, so it's FADH2 because like that's the one like it's giving electrons to the last two
complex number 2.
to which one? Complex number two.
Complex number 2.
But is that the lowest energy level?
Lowest, see, can you see the y-axis there?
Yeah.
So y-axis shows the right. It is going to a negative value when it comes to like. Can you see it is drawn like this? That means the energy, free energy change of each of these reaction is decreasing. So the free energy change of this reaction is the highest and this reaction is the lowest. You understand? In each step, there is a release of free energy.
Yeah.
The free energy relative to oxygen is plotted here. So when it comes to oxygen, the free energy change is almost zero.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That is the reason I said it is water.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. And then I guess
So I have sent you a link in which they have given a graph. You see that?
yeah. So at the lowest energy level, well
It's
FAD is
oxygen.
yeah, but then how's answer FAD?
FED is coming in step number 2.
Yeah, but that's not the lowest.
It's not the lowest.
Yeah, so but it says here in the question at the lowest energy level.
It's water. What my answer was water.
Yeah, but I think the correct answer is D. So
Is it D?
yeah,
Oh my god, how?
yeah, I don't know.
Are you
It just
sure it
says
is D?
yeah,
Because highest is NADH, that I know.
yeah, I don't know. It just says the answer is D.
Wait, then I have to check delta G of each and every reaction, Rishi. Like numerically, I'll check and get back to you. Okay.
Yeah,
So I just answered with respect to this graph. Okay, because they have written it in no in every textbook it is written like that. So I'll check the delta G value of each and every reaction and I'll get back to you. Okay. Even if it is after the class, I'll send you a text. Okay.
yeah,
I'll note that question number 32. Okay, fine. All right, next. Next one.
yeah. This one 34.
Mm. So where is the oxygen coming? I mean, oxygen in which is involved in aerobic respiration coming from? That's the question. Correct?
Yeah, yeah. So how do I? So which one would it
It's
be?
a aerobic respiration, Rishi. It always happens in the presence of
So
oxygen,
yeah,
molecular oxygen.
yeah. No, I know that, but like, uh, but what is the source?
Mm.
Is it just molecular oxygen?
Yeah, it's molecular
Oh,
oxygen. Aerobic respiration happens only in presence of oxygen. So what is the role of oxygen? It is a terminal electron acceptor. In
yeah,
absence of oxygen, it is not happening. That is the thing.
yeah,
So where is the electron getting pumped to in after each and every electron transfer reaction?
well, the I guess the electrons would be pumped to inside the mitochondrial matrix, or no, outside. So it'd be pumped to the intermembrane space. So it's C, right?
C.
Yeah. And then the number 40. Yeah, I'm not sure for this one.
The thing is that, uh, see, since 30 ATPs are produced, the cell is using the most efficient type of shuttle there. Okay, that means one NADH can be converted to 2.5 ATP. That is the maximum, correct? So
Yeah.
when you calculate, always calculate 2.5 against 1 NADPH. Now, so the question is, how many ATP molecules can a cell synthesize for each molecule of pyruvate getting oxidized to carbon dioxide? So first step, pyruvate uh, getting converted to acetyl CoA. There is one NADH getting produced. Correct?
Yeah.
Count it. One NADH there. Now, in citric acid cycle, how many NADHs are present are produced for per pyruvate? There is only one molecule of pyruvate involved. So one molecule of acetyl CoA. So how many NADHs are produced in citric acid cycle?
Yeah. So I guess uh
Three steps, Rishi. Three NADH. Okay. If you check the diagram, you'll understand. It is three NADH.
yeah, but that's how much ATP.
See, you just count how many NADH it is. Huh? So I said in pyruvate oxidation there is one NADH. TCA cycle, sorry, citric acid cycle there is three NADH and one FADH2 and one ATP. Am I right?
Yeah.
Should I repeat?
No, it makes sense.
Okay. Now write everything and against NADH you multiply that with 2.5. Okay. FADH is equivalent to 1.5 ATP plus 1 ATP. What is the answer?
Uh, Wait. So I take the NADH and multiply that with 2.5 and add 1.5.
Yeah, you have 1 plus 3 NADH, correct? 4 NADH total.
Yeah.
So 4 into 2.5 ATPs.
Yeah.
Then 1 FADH2 is equivalent to 1.5 ATP. So that 4 into 2.5 plus 1.5.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
1.5.
And then 1 ATP is produced in citric acid cycle. So
And
total
so is
is,
it? It's B then.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 42.
Actually, there is a question which comes in a topic that we haven't discussed yet. You know, the interrelationship between pathways. Uh, that is where this thing comes up. Fatty acid oxidation.
Uh.
It is coming after fermentation.
Yeah.
So the next topic that we have to deal with is fermentation. After that, there is a topic which connects all the biochemical pathways to glycolysis and TCA cycle. That's where that thing comes.
Yeah. But so. Wait. So what is the answer to this one then? Is it? I don't. I think the correct answer is A, but I don't know why. Like, is it A?
A is the answer because see, fatty acid, fatty acid when it get fatty acid is a form of stored fat. Okay, so when it is getting oxidized, every step there is eliminate. No, there'll be long chain of fatty acid. It'll be carbon chain. So in each and every step of oxidation, there is an elimination of carbon dioxide molecule. That's how the long fatty acid gets shortened, and in each step there is production of ATP. That's how it works. So that is what happens in starvation. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do we lose weight? Um, so it is not definitely converted to heat and then released. Okay, if it is if certain amount of mass has to be converted to heat, the body cannot tolerate that much heat. It has to spend a lot of energy to cool down itself. Okay, so it is not definitely heat. It it need not be converted to ATP also. uh, the answer is A, because in fatty acid oxidation, the fat get catabolized in a process called fatty acid oxidation, where the carbon chain is getting broken down, or it is getting simplified, and through elimination of carbon dioxide and water. Okay.
Yeah.
I think once you read that topic, you will understand that much better.
Yeah. And 44, I just can understand the question.
Actually, it is written inside out. So what I understand from that is, um, okay. See, the inner mitochondrial membrane. Okay, so you should remember this. I'll share this. Okay. So this membrane is what we are talking about. Inner mitochondrial membrane. Uh, Okay, this is the intermembrane space, and this is a matrix. So if it is forming inside out, meaning it is forming vesicle like this. This will be in the outside, correct?
Yeah.
Now read the question and see whether you understand. The little vesicle can result in the transfer of electron from NADH to oxygen and synthesize ATP. Which of the following statement about this inside out membrane vesicle is true? So NADH is added. So what happens? So this is where the vesicle is formed. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so NADH is added into the vesicle naturally. So, since it cannot come from outside here, you understood why they are saying inside added into the vesicle,
Yeah.
or are you not sure?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. So what they are asking you is, so this is forming a vesicle like this. Okay, like this it is forming a vesicle. Not like this. Okay. Here
Yeah.
again, the plasma membrane structure is coming. Okay, it's the same structure is coming. Imagine like that. All right. So here you have a vesicle and you have a, matrix inside this, the mitochondrial membrane matrix. Huh? Since NADH has to come inside the matrix now. NADH coming in, NADH is added. Okay. Still, the electron transport chain can work, right?
Yeah.
Now you what they have asked you is, inside of the vesicle become acidic when NADH is added. Is it true?
Yeah.
How?
Well, no, actually, when ADH is added, I mean, it's losing electrons.
Using proton.
Well,
See, you're talking about the membrane, I mean, this vesicle, Rishi, not about NADH. Inside of the vesicle is becoming acidic when NADH is added. So NADH is added here that results in the transfer of electron through the electron transport chain, correct?
yeah.
So at each of these protein complex level, what is happening? There is an ejection of proton. Am I right?
Yeah.
So is the inner member inner inside of this vesicle becoming acidic? Only when the proton is pumped inside towards inside,
Yeah.
what is happening? This will become acidic.
Yeah.
So when NADH comes inside, it start transferring electron through this electron transport chain, and at level of each of these complex, there is an ejection of proton. Correct.
Yeah.
So the inside of this membrane, will it be acidic?
No.
Because proton is actually lost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inside of the vesicle becomes alkaline. Is it becoming alkaline?
I don't think so. Well,
Yeah, it might not be right.
yeah.
Come to the next one. ATP will be produced from ADP and inorganic phosphate in the interior of the vesicle. Will that be right?
Ye yeah, I think so.
That is a possibility because it can take proton from the exterior, and since there is a higher concentration proton concentration outside, this still can work, right?
Yeah.
So that is a possibility actually. The vesicles will pump protein out of the interior of the vesicle to the exterior, um, using energy from ATP hydrolysis. Will it happen?
Uh,
Vesicle will pump out of proton from interior to exterior using ATP from an ATP hydrolysis. It won't happen because the membrane is impermeable to proton. The only way through proton can get inside or outside is through this channel. Okay,
yeah.
so there is no chance of so D is also wrong. So I think we should go with C.
Okay. Yeah.
What is the answer actually? Do you have the answer?
Yeah, let me check. Oh, I think the answer is A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of the recipe will become acidic when NDH is added. Then only chance is this inside out is like this. Do you understand?
Uh, wait, wait, which one?
The why you stop sharing? We said about that membrane, no? The the diagram that I showed you right now. So this is the inner mitochondrial membrane. So if it is, and this is a matrix. If it is inside out, meaning this is outside. If the answer is A, meaning then the vesicle should be formed like this, Rishi, isn't it?
Yeah,
So, um, okay, I can do one thing. I'll just go through this. What is it? The ultrasonic vibration, what actually happens with the membrane. Let me just go through it and I'll get back to you with this.
yeah,
Okay, then I'll be able to clearly tell you whether it is the how that inside out works.
yeah. Also, for the test, that you gave me, like,
Uh,
did I get all of them right?
uh, they what?
Like, did I get all of them, or were any of them wrong?
No, actually, I haven't checked it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay, I'll send it to you probably in an hour or so.
yeah,
Okay, I haven't checked it. I have the answer key ready, so I can just go through very fast and I'll send it to you. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So next one.
yeah. This one.
Answer is D.
Oh, it's D.
Check the answer once.
Uh, yeah, I think it's D.
See, you remember we telling about less electronegative substance can act as electron acceptors, even though oxygen is a more electronegative and it will be more efficient. There will be some other, we talked about sulfide bacteria.
Yeah,
Do you remember? Yeah, that's all. Sulfate reducing bacteria, that's what we spoke about.
yeah,
Okay, next. Oh, you haven't learned fermentation, right?
No.
So there are two types of fermentation that you have to study. That is, one is alcohol fermentation and other is lactic acid fermentation. And yeast comes under alcohol fermentation.
Yeah, but
Okay.
no, yeah.
Mm.
So I read the fermentation part on my own, but I'm still not sure what the answer is.
Mm. So you're confused between A and C?
No, I think I put C at first and I changed it to A. I'm not sure, and I think A is the right answer. I'm not sure why.
Uh, Fermentation is basically the process which is happening to regenerate NAD plus. Okay, so all the fermentation process produce NAD plus.
Yeah,
So this is an alcohol fermentation, and NAD. C is the answer.
yeah. C. Wait, so C is the answer?
Huh.
Uh, no, I think the answer is
A.
yeah.
Reproduction of following set of molecules. Yeah, answer is A, correct. You know why? If it was NAD plus, it is correct.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
it is producing NAD plus, and then that NAD plus is later converted into NADH.
yeah. Yes, the answer is
Mm,
A.
mm. So if it was NAD plus, that would have been right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the answer?
Uh, I think it's
Again, this comes under that last topic, Rishi. That's why you're not able to answer. Cholesterol is a lipid, right? It's a lipid. Fatty acid again, it comes under lipid classification. Amino acid. So uh, you should remember one thing. Whenever any biomolecule that should be utilized as carbon source of energy has to be converted to some or the other form of other metabolite of glucose. Okay, so it has to go through either glycolysis, TCA cycle, or any of those pathways, like those pathways, uh, to get converted into some form of energy. That means, uh, for the NADH and ATP to be produced. Okay, so these three metabolize and actually they catabolize, and they get converted into some of the or the other form of the intermediary steps of the Krebs cycle. Okay, so if these three has to be utilized as carbon source of energy, uh, they get broken down into some compound of the TCA cycle of the Krebs cycle. Okay, since the yeast is defective, has a defective mitochondria, the Krebs cycle won't be working properly, right?
Yeah.
So yeast won't be able to utilize three of this. So it has to use glucose. Is that the answer given?
Uh, yeah, I think it's A. Yeah.
Hmm. See, C is never right because fatty acid oxidation happens solely in mitochondria.
Yeah.
So time is up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you the corrected. I mean, like if there is anything wrong, etc. of the thing, the previous test, by like in few hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they have they reached in school? Have they reached the topic that we have already covered, or are they ahead?
Yeah, no, I think we're going to be doing chapter 8 also.
Okay. Have they completed this one?
Uh, no, not completely, but I think we have a test on chapter 6 to 8 next week on uh
Chapter 6 to 8.
yeah, 6 to 8, and it's on uh the 15th. So it's next
Oh,
week. Yeah.
so if do you think we'll be able to complete the 8? 8 is also a big one. Okay, 15th. One second. 15th, that'll be next Wednesday. So you'll have one, two, only two, three classes, Rishi.
Uh yeah, well, I can
And
read a chapter 8 on my own and you can test me in class if we do some
oh,
chapter
fine
8.
then. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fine. That's good. That's good. So, but the problem with that chapter 8 is it has the same like this chapter. It has so many pathways and things like that. It's like actually more complicated than the this one. Comparatively, this is an easier one. Okay, you do one thing. You read it. In between, you let me know. Okay, and if you can find time in between, you just ask me whether I'm free at that time. I can arrange, in between we can have another session. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, see whether that is possible. Your timing and my timing should match, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then see ya.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.